So you, first of all, are an energy being. And as we touched on at the very beginning, you need to be in flow in order to thrive. Everything that happens to you or you experience in your life is coming through from your energy field. You have the power to change your state and understand how you can shift these three important aspects: your energy, your thoughts, and your emotions. Now, this is one of my slides that's having a little bit of a wobble, but it says 78% of us are living in stress every single day. And I think I've probably heard me say this before, but the last couple of years, that number is probably even higher than ever before. But what stress really is a representation of our flow state. Now, this has been shown and studied by some amazing scientific research studies, organizations. One in particular that I'm very fond of is called the HeartMath Institute, and they played a massive part in my own personal journey, but also in laying the foundations for many of the modern energy psychology techniques that we know and love today, EAM being one of those. And what they've actually shown is that your flow state isn't just a spiritual concept. It's absolutely a measurable state of your energy field within your physical and energetic bodies. And what they actually measure is your heart rate variability, HRV it's called. But what you can see here, these two little diagrams represent what you see on a heart monitor. When you go into hospital and they jack you up to all of these things, they're actually tracking your heart rate. And it isn't just making sure that your heart is beating, they're actually looking at the electrical signals and patterns that flow through your heart's rhythm. When somebody is in distress or stress or trauma or anger or frustration, the energy looks very much like the line at the top. And when we're in flow, when we're calm, when we're loving, when we appreciate, when we're grateful, when we are in abundance, when we feel free, when we're grounded, when we are connected, our energy looks like this flow at the bottom, this beautiful movement up and down, moving through the yin and the yang of energy, allowing you to flow easily through life. And there are so many different changes that actually happen within your body that can be measured based on which one of these two flow states you're in. So it changes things like your hormones, it changes the electrical signals that get sent through the body, it changes where blood flow gets directed. So many different things change within your physical body and therefore changes your brain function based on which one of these flow states you are in. So this is much more than just a spiritual concept. You can see the changes in your life based on your flow state. Now, within EAM, we talk about energy being one of three states. And again, if you're a long-time lover, you can't have got away with hearing me teach this, but just bear with me for those who are new. It's really important that you understand these three things. So please write them down. So everything in your life, everything, your relationships, your money, your passion, your purpose, your future, your clarity, your health, your wealth, your emotions, your lifestyle, everything is in one of these three states. We've all experienced what we know as energy reversals. So energy reversals are those situations in your life where we have those repeating patterns, those things that it doesn't matter how many times we try and change it, it comes up with the same thing time and time again. You can look at your life and it's like, here I am, I'm playing out exactly the same drama. 3 years later, nothing seems like it's moved along. I'm sure every one of us can put our hands up and think there's something in our life that fits that bracket. We know that it's an energy reversal when our emotions around it are disproportionate to the situation, or when we run a million miles away from it and avoid it like the plague. So I haven't got time tonight to go into talking about how energy reversals are created, but it's a significant piece of the puzzle. And whilst we hold energy reversals, it's almost impossible for us to create the changes that we want to in our life, because as you can see, the energy is literally running in the opposite direction. Then we have this flow state in the middle called resistance, which is this push-pull energy. I always describe it as being held or pulled between two horses. It's like part of you wants to move forward, part of you wants to move in a new direction, but there's this other part of you, this limitation, normally the inner voices that are standing in the way, holding you back, telling you you can't, filling you with doubt, making you question yourself, telling you how bad you are, can't do this, can do that. The resistances are usually that inner critic. Then we have the receptive state, which is the one that we all want to be in all of the time, 24/7, 365 days a year. But very rarely we are. The receptive state is that flow state. It's that beautiful place where everything feels like it's just working out for you. You feel in flow, you feel love, you feel happy, you have synchronicities, the right person, the right time, the right book, the right whatever always appears in your life. It's like just one good thing after another keeps on flowing for you. The receptive state is absolutely a place that we can choose to be. All of us can choose to be in this place all the time, or as much of the time as possible, when we understand how to shift and change our energy and do the work on releasing the resistances and the reversals that are held inside of us. So what I want you just to take from that tiny little piece is that we get to choose in any single moment which one of these three flow states we're in. We're in reversal, we're in resistance, or we're in receptive state. And you can choose which one you want to be in by shifting your flow state from one to another. Now, one of the challenges that we've experienced, I know I experienced along my journey through this world of self-help, is that we were often taught to look inside our brain. We've been told from a tiny age that our brain is the controller of our whole body, our whole experience, that our memories and our subconscious are all held within our brain, and that in order to shift anything, we have to work on what we're thinking. We have to change our mindset. We have to work on releasing the limiting beliefs, which are all true. But as I touched on at the beginning, your mindset is actually an expression of what's going on in your energy field. Your brain, the thing that's on top of your shoulders and in between your ears, is actually a computer. It's actually an analog processor. And what our brain is designed to do is to run default programs. It's designed to run default programs. Now, the reason I'm emphasizing this point is that those default programs that it is running have come from our learned experiences. It's come from the people that we grew up around. It's come from the experiences from our past. It's come from the environment that we've been living in. It's come from what we've seen on TV, on news, on media, on society. It's come from basically everything that's happened to you before today. But the reason that we end up keep on being stuck is that the brain will keep rerunning the program that it knows, because it just loves simplicity. It has so much information passing through it all the time that it goes into a default way of operating, even if the way that the brain is operating is detrimental to you. Because it's what the brain knows how to do and it's the default setting, it will always default to that original position. Does this make sense? I'm hoping this is making sense. So your brain is an analog processor. It processes information. And what is the information that it is reading? Your brain is reading the information in your environment through all of your different senses. So the information it's reading is actually from your energy field. Your aura literally holds the key to everything. Your aura, your energy field, your electromagnetic energy field, which can be measured up to 20 feet away from you, scientifically measured up to 20 feet away from you, is actually a recording device. Your aura holds every single experience you've ever been through, every thought, belief, emotion, situation, scenario, memory, pattern, conversation, everything is stored somewhere within your energy field, the good and the bad. And the reason that most of the things we've tried to work on before haven't necessarily worked as effectively as we'd like them to is because we haven't addressed where they're held in our energy. And this is one of the most magical things that EAM does allow you to do, to find the things that are held in your energy field, to shift the things that are held in your energy field that hold you back, and to be able to reprogram, most important piece, what we call step 5, the messages and information held in your energy field, so that what's held there as your default patterns becomes something that serves you instead of pulls you back. So our work is then to work on reprogramming that, to shift what's held in our subconscious energy. But very often we end up letting our emotions rule our life. We can go through days and days and weeks feeling depressed or angry or frustrated or powerless, not realizing that actually our emotions are telling us a story. Our emotions are telling you where you are on a vibrational level in relation to the subjects that you're thinking about. So when you're feeling fearful, depressed, and angry, if you look down the bottom left of the screen, you'll see that these emotions are really low, slow frequency vibrations, and they feel like that. They feel rubbish. They feel heavy. They feel depressing. It feels like we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulder. And then all the way over to the top, I can almost feel myself taking a deeper breath, even thinking about the feelings of love, freedom, joy, and empowerment. And when we are anywhere above what we call the line in the middle, when you're in these positive emotions, your vibration is higher. Your literal frequency, your energy in your body is running at a higher frequency. So you are operating at a more expanded level. You're happier. You attract more things in. You see more opportunities. You think more positively. We've all experienced this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know or haven't experienced, but you can actually use your emotions as a way to shift your energy and vibration on every single subject. So one of the things that we teach you when you first start using EAM is how to use this. We call the energetic emotional scale. It's originally based on a piece of work by Dr. David Hawkins in his book Power versus Force, but this is based on the concepts of yin and yang as well. But really what we're looking at here is how to shift you into a better place around how you feel. Bearing in mind the subject we're talking about tonight is money. So what do you need to do to shift your emotions, to change your vibration so that you become the attractive energy that we all want to be? Now, we've been kind of brought up to believe that we're actually just this physical body than what we see, when actually we are this incredible energy system. And again, I really don't have time today to deep dive and take you into this. I've already touched a little bit on our electromagnetic energy field, but you also have this incredible energy system, or part of your energy system called your funnel, which is like your power source. It's like your battery. The amount of energy you can channel through you and therefore direct in your life is based on how open and expanded your funnel is. Then you've got, these are key to EAM, 3 energy centers that we talk about: your head, your heart, and your hara. Your head is your consciousness, is your thinking, it's your awareness. Your heart is your emotions, and it's also what runs the whole of your energy field. Your aura is actually governed by your heart. And then your hara, my favorite, which is from your belly button down. And this is the manifesting center. This is your creationary center in the body that allows you to bring things into the physical. And when you can start working with consciously all three of these energy centers being in alignment, this is what the word alignment really means. Your head, your heart, and your hara are singing a congruent message. That's when you really get to start creating massive shifts. Now, you've probably also heard of your chakras before, and your chakras, again, form a big part of your energy system. They are vibrational power pumps. That's the way I think about them. They're opening and closing, depending on what you're feeling, and them opening and closing is also part of what you're feeling and how you experience life. But your chakras have all been mapped and measured in connection to your nervous system. And it's, again, too much for me to teach and talk about tonight. But what's going on in your energy field is translated into your physical body via your chakras into your nervous system. And this is often how we start to feel sick or start to get unwell, or where physical health conditions begin to come from. So the reason I'm sharing all of this with you is because there is a wealth of understanding of yourself that you need to get to be able to start operating within the world that we're living in right now. And you need to start working with it, because there is so much more to you than just this physical body that most of the time, many people aren't even looking after the bit that they see. We don't necessarily look after our physical bodies in the best way possible. I've just put myself in a sugar detox for the last 2 weeks, and it's been interesting. And I've lost about 1.5 stone, I swear, just from not eating sugar was my vice. That's my one thing. Anyway, I digress. So your hara, again, is one of the biggest challenges that most of us have in terms of manifesting or working on our wealth creation. And there are so many reasons for this. But our hara actually develops, it's made up of our base and sacral chakras and all of this lower half of our body, which actually develops between the age of 0 to 16, when we are a giant sponge, and we are open to what's going on in our world and going on in our life. And if we look at that particular part of the body, it's also where we have a deep connection with other people. It may also be where we've had negative experiences in our life. But when we can go in and do the work on shifting stuck energy that might be held in our base and sacral chakras, then we can start to really go on a journey to transform our life. Now, some of you may have seen this triangle before. It's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And actually, what many people don't know is that it correlates directly with our chakra system. So the reason I'm sharing this with you, and I'm really annoyed because my slides, the next slide that was messed up was where I was going to show you where these things really stick together. But at our primal foundation, according to Maslow's model, the most important things that a human being needs are warmth, water, air, and food. And you would also add money into that, which is what we're going to move on to talking about in a moment. These are considered our basic human needs: safe environment, confidentiality, safety, free from disturbances. We just want to have that safe place, that place we call home, that we feel grounded and present in. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because this whole journey, this whole model is actually a journey. It is a journey through life. Hold on 1 second. And if we haven't got these foundational pieces sorted, it's very difficult for us to evolve up the ladder, I suppose, or up through the chakras, or up through these needs into that place at the top, which they call self-actualization. So if we're working through it in our chakra system, it's about working on our root chakra, it's about working on our sacral chakra, so that we can start to lift up into this solar plexus heart energy, which is about how we think and how we feel. It's about our love, our belonging, our connection to other people, our self-esteem. before we're even ready to start thinking about other people, which is what the self-actualization, understanding ourselves, understanding our life purpose, what we are here for, and being able to contribute to society as a bigger picture.